So, as I promised, I'm making this video, and I promised not to look at the questions more than I already did. Um, so hopefully this will get more of you to post a video. Um, yes, I'm an INTP. This is a lot harder to do when you're looking at yourself in the face. And Neo, you posted some questions for me, and I guess for the rest of us, whoever else is going to do it. And first one was occupation, and I'm actually a machinist. Sorry for the moving. I'm actually a machinist at an aerospace machine shop, and I actually do like it. I got it because of a friend. They just needed a low level person, and I got the job. Uh, actually do enjoy it because it's very it's makes me it makes me stress out because it can be difficult or you mess up thousands of dollars worth of stuff, but I really like it because it's engaging. If you don't just sit there doing the mundane stuff. Like messing with the programs a little bit and things like that. So I think it's rather interesting. It's not something I want to keep doing, definitely, but it's definitely a good job to have for now. Um, as far as friendships go, um, I seem to have a lot of introverted friends growing up. I had, like, maybe with the exception of one friend that was very extroverted, and me and him had a lot of trouble a few years ago. Like, sorry, my computer's taking off. Me and him had a lot of trouble a few years ago, and I think as we just operated very. He's a ENTJ actually, and we operated very differently, and I guess we were just so rooted in our own ways or whatever. So we just clashed, because it's much more. I don't know. It's just for me. I just wanted what made sense and truth, but I was just very insensitive. I guess we can be, and he tends to be more controlling and yeah, more controlling and needs support and things like that. But so we'd always clash. But now we seem to be really good friends, and I have an ENT. I have like a certain amount of close friends. I have one ENTJ, another INTP, two INTJs, and one INFJ, and another friend that hasn't taken it yet. But mostly all introverts, with maybe like the exception of one extrovert. And so yeah, I tend naturally I tend to rather just hang out with a few people, play some board games or card games or video games with them, and talk about ideas and things like that. Especially my other INTP friend, I think he's very classically INTP, and I kind of figured him for an INTP a long time ago, and yeah, so that's along with friendships. Pets, I'm not sure. There's this next bullet point. I've had pets, mostly dogs, a few dogs over the years. I don't have. They passed away recently, but I'm not too sure what to say on animals. I mean, I like them, but they seem like trying to get one for myself would seem like a lot of responsibility and effort to put into. And I already have lots of nieces and nephews that need attention, so that seems like something that's not going to happen anytime soon. As for morning or night person, I'm definitely a night person. I take a while to wake up. Yeah, definitely a night person. Even if I'm tired, I'll stay up if I'm thinking about something. I mean, I could sleep whenever I want to, but I will stay up if I have anything to think about. Promises, I don't generally make them at all, but if I do, I do it. I keep it but it's very hard for me to commit to words. Um, yeah, but if I've ever decided on something for sure, then I didn't. I've never really changed my mind once I've decided. Deciding's usually the very hard part. Yeah, I can probably count the amount of times I made promises. Um, as for goals, um, I only recently realized I had some. An ex girlfriend of mine, she kind of just started asking me questions and about goals and stuff. And this is before like when I was just kind of like disillusioned with life and didn't really have any reason to do anything. And she asked me like what my goals were and stuff like that. But I didn't. I just I guess I gave up on it like when I was younger, and I didn't realize like I had these interests that I wanted to pursue actually. Um, but I guess I'm gonna be open. But if I'm gonna tell you, it's has to do with like animation and comedy and editing videos and stuff like that, which I'm getting into. I'm actually starting to pursue these things, but they're terrifying. They're a lot of anxiety and pursuing it and trying to be consistent. I think I think about it like almost every day. Those things I mentioned, and mostly comedy and animation. I keep thinking about it, but it's much easier to it's much easier to plan the things you want to do and imagine what you would create than develop the skills. Like I have an animation class, but it's and I enjoy doing it, but it's terrifying to keep in. Yeah, I was reading another article. I think it was on a Advice Animals column. I'll link it. It was talking about procrastination and how it's much more of a fear response of failure and things like that, and which makes a lot of sense to me. As I can recognize that fear of failure, change, or success and stuff like that. One of my coworkers is an INTP, and he's probably the only one that actually realized that one of my actual fear was probably failure, because it would change a lot of things. So I wouldn't know how to. Fear of success would change a lot of things, so I wouldn't really know how to deal with that. That's not something I'm used to. I'm used to manufacturing failure because of self-sabotaging. I'm used to manufacturing it and pretending to have some control. But goals. So yeah, it's the goals are something I actually think about daily now, but they're really hard to pursue, or at least keep consistent. Like I can pursue it, but it would be months before I do something again. So much more of a I guess not overanalyzing, but not doing enough about the analysis or whatever. Because I can imagine these things, but putting them down is much harder. And as for my question about childhood moments that define you, at least reflect being very introverted, or INTP at least. I remember in elementary school I'm Mexican, so we'd always go play soccer and stuff, but I'd always eventually bring a toy to school or something and just play with it. Kids would pressure you to play. And then I would remember have a little Spider-Man toy from McDonald's or something, and just playing just by myself and being perfectly content. So that was one of my questions, and yeah, I guess that's it. And I hope to see other people's videos, and maybe we could add more questions and post more. Yeah, by the way, and thanks for your time.